Growing up, I've been multiple different personalities. Like a lot of us, probably. I've been the kid that's been the class clown. I've been the bully. I've been the nerd. I have been the antisocial and the extrovert. And to be honest, I think all of this is quite normal. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about of how growing up and being all of these different people can be something fun. Going through school, most of us probably knew how to read and write probably by grade 1 or grade 2. But in my case, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, I did not know how to write or read until 5th grade. And again, societal norms is you know how to read probably by grade 1 or 2, you can write and you can speak, and I could speak obviously, but I was really bad at writing and reading and all of that stuff. Mostly because I would just be loafing around during class, I wouldn't be focusing, and I might have had ADHD, but I never got it tested, so I don't really know for sure. But I didn't know how to read or write. So a lot of times our parents remind us of our first words as kids, or the first thing that we spoke about, or the first thing that we said. In my case, since I didn't know how to read or write until grade 5, I remember the first word that I ever spelled by myself, and that was animal. I was sitting on my dining table and nobody was at home, and I had some homework, and I don't remember how I would make notes or how I would write stuff or how I would read stuff even, but I remember just sitting with myself and thinking that, okay, I'm going to write this word by myself. And for some reason, I chose to write animal. No idea why. The whole reason why I'm telling you the story is because society has all of these different ideologies for what makes us us. But to be very honest, a lot of times it's really our choice if we want it to define who we are, or switch it up or use it to our advantage. So in my case, knowing that animal was the first word that I could ever spell, I sort of go after whatever I want in life, whether it be sports or studies or design or anything that I'm doing, like an animal. I go crazy. Looking back now, I can really say that all of these things that have happened, we really get to choose whether we want them to make or break us, basically. I turn 22 tomorrow, and I can honestly say that I feel really happy with the personality that I have and the person that I'm becoming. But this wasn't always the case. Not so long ago, last year, when I was turning 21, which is supposed to be the big chapter for all of us, where we're becoming an adult and life's supposed to be exciting. Growing up, we always wish to become adults, and 21, we're finally here. Yeah, obviously, we're a little nervous, but for me, like a few of us maybe, it was quite dark. I had dreamt of playing football for the rest of my life, and unfortunately, things weren't going according to plan. And I was in this really dark place where I would shut myself off in my room. I didn't want to talk to anybody, or I didn't really want to see anyone. And I honestly just wanted to cut everything off and just be alone. But that's when I thought back to few years ago when my mother had actually lost her mom, her sister, and her father in the span of 4 years. And through it all, she would joke around, she would laugh. Yes, obviously, she was sad at times, but it didn't change who her core person was. So, what I learned from that in this dark phase when I thought back to it was that our parents have these certain personalities that we as kids notice. And think about it, there is genetics obviously, but these people have raised us up. So, if that's personality that she has, then obviously that means that's a personality that I somewhere have in me too. So, I just told myself that, and I went through this dark phase. Looking back, I also realized that these dark chapters will come, and it's normal. That's just how life is. You really realize a lot of things about yourself during those phases. I can say that although those were some tough times, that those were probably the moments where I learned more things about myself than I probably ever would have in any other situation. So if you're somebody that's in that chapter of your life, then embrace it. Because I can tell from experience that that's where we really learn things about ourselves. We learn things about our personality. We learn things about that are bad about us, good about us. And it's really a period where you really start figuring out who you are as a person and what makes you you. Now, another thing I realized through all of these different chapters of life is you really get to choose who you want to be at the moment you are in right now. So, for example, when I was the class clown, I would make everybody laugh, right? But then when I was the introvert, I just wanted to sit, I wanted to do my work, I didn't want to talk to anybody. So, at this very moment in my life, I know that I like making people laugh, but at the same time, I want to work. I want to get work done. I want to work on myself. I want to grow and I want to focus on myself. So, those are two principles that I've chosen for myself. Just like that, in the moment that we are right now, we get to see all of these different phases in our life. Again, this requires a lot of self-reflection. You need to look back. You need to see. You need to figure out why you did things the way you did. And once you do have all of that together, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. But once you do have all of those things together in an understanding of who you were and why you were the way you are, then you can really pick those personality traits and make them define the person you are right now. Sit with yourself, go into that isolation, that monk mode, or whatever you want to call it, and ask yourself questions, right? It's going to get lonely, and a lot of times we don't really want those isolations to be imposed upon us. So you can either consciously go into that zone, or if life has put you in that zone, then it's okay. Take a deep breath and ask yourself these questions. Figure out what makes you who you are. We're all unique in our own way. And don't be afraid to show it. Society is honestly going to judge us for whatever we do. And even if it isn't, then even better. So I might as well be myself than be somebody that society expects to be or any of that sort. Just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know I've said this in my previous video too. If you haven't seen that, then I'll have a link down in the description. But dark times are not here to stay, right? However difficult life gets, I know in that moment it might be difficult to foresee or see things working out, but trust me, it will turn around. What you are right now really doesn't define us. If you think about it, it's what makes you who you will become tomorrow. Reflecting back at all of those tough times, I can tell that it's made me who I am today. Now, I know I'm not exactly who I want to be yet, but in a good way, I know that I'm in a better place. To summarize this video, society has a lot of norms, a lot of expectations from all of us. It's up to us to choose what parts of it we want to accept and what parts of it we don't. So when I was judged for not being able to read or write, and when I remembered and when I spelled my first word and wrote my first word, I didn't let that define me. Instead, I just use that as like a boost because like whatever I do, I know that, yeah, I'm an animal right now because I just got it 100%. And the most strongest personality traits are developed in those dark times. If you're in that phase, then reflect, be grateful for it even. I know it sounds tough, but be grateful for it because trust me, at the end of that phase, if you keep learning things about yourself, if you keep discovering new things about yourself, you will really be thinking about this video when you reach that point where you're out of that phase and you'll be like, shit, that's true. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention was something that also really helped me along the line from transitioning to that 21-year-old self who didn't want to talk to anybody and who didn't want to do anything and just wanted to sit in his room to being where I am right now, where I'm going after life, is tiny habits. We've all read about this, but I can speak with proof that this one tiny habit, which was brushing my teeth with my left hand instead of my right, really changed a lot of things. So first thing in the morning, instead of brushing my teeth with my right hand, I brush my teeth with my left hand. Honestly, I feel like I've gotten comfortable with it, right? with my left hand too right now, so I might have to switch to my toes or something like that. But it really changed a lot of things for me. And if you can just think about that one tiny change, it could be anything. I don't know, you drink water through your nose, anything. I'm kidding, don't do that. But some tiny change, and you keep doing that consistently, eventually you will pile up these small, small increments, and you will be out of that phase. So that's it for this video, guys. I tried something new. Again, this is a segment which I'm going to be doing where I speak completely without a script. It's all just very raw. So if I missed few points and went back to it later, I'm sorry about that. I'm just experimenting with things. That being said, my next video is about building confidence. And again, with personality comes great confidence. And I have been somebody that's had a lot of confidence, that's had shit confidence, and that's also on the journey to recovering their confidence again. So I can tell you that there's going to be some solid tips in that video and experiences and stories too. So stick around for the next video. And if you like this video, then do subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be sharing more such videos that might help or grow you or push you in a certain way towards you becoming your best self. Also, to wrap things up, I forgot to mention my name. Like I said, this video is random, so please bear with me. My name is Dhruv Rao, and I hope to create inspirational videos about my journey through which I'm learning a lot of things, and I want to share that with people so that it might or might not help them in their journey too. That's it for this video, guys. Until next time, bye.